they were saying that they didn't like your style of video, right? And I was like, because they're like, who you like? I'm like, Poor Investor and a couple of other
Whatever.
guys. No, and like, I think that this is an important point, and like you're speaking to the common man, like the everyday farmer. You're helping people out that might not know really what to listen to. There's a lot of people pushing self-interest in the crypto community,
Hmm.
and you're clearly out here having fun and just like doing your thing and
Right.
speaking the language that people understand,
Right.
right? And I think that went right over this guy's head. And like I think that that's an important point that the Chia community needs more of, is that there's this group of people that are like super technical and
Oh
like
yeah.
really aggressive, and
I-
maybe even me, I'm one of them, right? But like there's this contingent of people like that, but there isn't a million of them, and there's a million people farming Chia or whatever, a million nodes,
yeah.
right? So I think that there's a lot of people that just launch the software on their computer and dedicate some plotting space and have no idea, and they go to YouTube and they find you and you
Yeah.
speak to them, and I
I
think that's so valuable.
I'm
And I think,
engaging with them in the comments.
yes,
They're still asking me like, I can't, my harvester's not showing up in my farm, and I'll sit there and I'll go through it with now.
that's right. And I think that's so valuable. And like the people that are out writing like papers and stuff about this,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
consensus papers and everything,
I
it's
could
like that's
easily just paste a video from like JM and have them watch a full hour of his videos and try to figure it out, or I could sit there and just give him what I know, and that's what I
That's my
do.
point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information out there, but it's geared to like the programmer crowd,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
like so when people say like go check the GitHub or whatever,
I
that's
hate
that's
that.
really daunting. That's totally inaccessible to like 99% of people, right?
I
And
hate
and
those.
that's what I
Yeah.
was trying to explain to this person. I think he got it, right? That I was like, no, I've talked to this guy. He knows what he's doing. Like what he but like he's doing something very specifically, and like there is a big gigantic audience of Chia fans that are very poorly served.
I think I know where I fell into as soon as people coming back and saying things like that when they were commenting, saying, oh wow, you're down to earth, like
Yes.
like at the same level,
Yes.
like I don't know, because the one guy actually commented way in the beginning, were like, you're always like flip flopping, like one day you're hit for Chia and one day you're not, like because I'm real.
That's right.
You have emotions, right?
Your feelings are changing on the subject. Your new information,
Exactly. Like
everything's
if Chia
changing.
drops to zero today, is not everyone gonna be pissed by tomorrow? Like it's just, well, you're gonna still have like the full faith, like Chia's gonna make it. Like I don't like Bram, tweets his tweets. Half the time I was actually no, more than half the time, 99% of the time, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. I'm trying to make sense of it. I feel like the dummy, like I need to ask someone. So
It's nuts. And like, yeah, there's this two separate worlds, I think, and like one is much bigger than the other, and the small one like sneers at the
yeah.
big world of people that are like you and I that aren't like doing this full time. Like, it's very strange. And I honestly, I've been seeing a little bit of the other crypto world, and it's like that with Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything too, right? Like there's
Actually,
the
Chris, I'm going to tell you something. I actually, from my YouTube, I got into a point where some people have donated equipment to me,
yeah.
and I have literally a phone communication with this person pretty often now, and we're just discussing Chia itself, the
Yeah.
forex, and helping him out how to address certain things. He's very technical. All right, I'll put it like that. But there's just some things that you want, like if I ask you a question, like when I asked you where the hell did you get that pool icon, and you pointed me to Pool Garden, there's a lot of information out there that's missing. A lot of people wouldn't even know that, and I'm in it, and we've been in it for the months.
Yeah.
So imagine someone stepping in now. Like
That's my point that I've been
yeah.
trying to make, is that there's no launch pad.
No,
You're
isn't.
the launch pad. There is. It's you. But like,
I
no, but I think it is. And and there's other technical resources, but like somebody can't go to there are lots of people that can, but like the common person that struggles with their cell phone setup when they buy a new cell phone,
right,
they're gonna have a
right.
lot of trouble like going to chia.net, installing that software and doing anything properly. I need to plot to an SSD and then put it on a hard drive. Even that I think is not super clear in the GUI, right? So like
It's
having
not, yeah.
guys like you,
Yeah.
it's clear if you're used to using like software like that, but not for, if the software that you use is Office and Word.
What I did notice is on my YouTube, based on my subscribers, is that if any time, and I noticed this because it's a trend, anytime I release a video that's a little more, I'll say like preschoolish, catering to that group, I'll get a few subs that disappear. Because they would obviously, if I get very technical, they'll come on and I'll have discussions, right? Like, I'll talk about certain things in more detail. But if I go back to the kindergarten steps, you kind of lose those guys. So there's like a little trade-off between very technical and beginner level stuff. And, that goes for anything, I mean, if you stepped into, let's just say, a karate studio and you were a white belt, overwhelmed by all these black belts, you're going to probably step back and say, maybe this is not for me, or vice versa. Right. Yeah. So that's basically what I see happening on my channel a lot.
I think that's elitism, because I don't know. I enjoy the kindergarten ones. It's funny. It's entertaining. Like, whatever. It's like, pro gamers still watch Linus Tech Tips, like
they may not watch every single release, but once in a while it's entertaining, or there's something there of value.
Unsubs, right? Because they talk to the console crowd or whatever, right? Like that seems, that feels like a very crypto thing to me. And like I've seen it in the other communities, and it's there. I think there's less of it in Chia because there are more people like me that like aren't involved in other crypto communities that find a lot of this stuff very strange. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I think there's a lot of value in like the, I don't want to say the lowest common denominator stuff, but like the, the basics, like starting from like, if you were explaining this to your mom.
Yes.
Right. Like, and that's what I was saying. I was talking to somebody that like thought that because you did content like that you didn't understand what you were doing. And I'm like, what?
Maybe.
so I found your commenters. You know what I mean? I found those ones that are unsubing when you do
there's usually there's a few that comes in and say and I kind of just ignore it. I don't take it to heart, because if you do, awesome. It becomes an issue where you get too emotional over certain things, you know what I mean? But okay, that's I mean, it is what it is. I don't know hard feelings with anything.
Well, I think that person was very wrong, and like you know what I mean. I think that's and I bet that if they were to talk to other people, like big media people in the crypto space, those people would agree that like there's an on ramp. You know what I mean? Like you don't just start watching Son of a Tech videos because like on your first day, because you're not gonna know unless it's his like super basic stuff that he probably loses subscribers over because they're like, what is this? Right, like and I think that, but like there's without an on-ramp and without that content that is geared towards people, and like a lot of people are too snooty to do it apparently, then we have no new people and nobody gets excited.
So
people get excited
I actually had a request for someone to say, Chia.net changed how their download page looks like now.
Like and to go through that.
And then install
that's so valuable.
But if I was to do that, and I know already, and I was already planning to do that, but if I do that, I will lose some of the more hardcore Chia people who've been in the game, for the last couple of months, and they're like, I'm looking for something. That's not what I'm looking for anymore. You're becoming like, it's like nonsense now. So there is like, anyway. I know, but that's what happens.
Well, I can't tell you what's good for your SEO.
No, I understand.
Like that, but like I do, and sometimes the valuable content sinks to the bottom, unfortunately, right? Like that's.
I mean, there's some videos where I just come on and I just talk and I rant and I talk about stuff, and then there's other videos where I do how-tos, like just random, like very simple, or maybe to us it's simple, but to someone who doesn't know Chia, it's helpful. Yeah. So I could see where that other person is coming from, but not everything is always like scientific or math, so it's all right. It is
all right, man. I gotta go.
Okay.
It is the pumpkin time here for me. But I wanted to talk to you about your forks and like to get you on the record for like what you're doing with the forks.
No problem.
I think that the people will be very interested in finding about what you're doing. Like specifically, you've been gearing away from your farm videos a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And because I love those videos. Those are good.
I'm trying to situate myself where I have something of substance to actually put back onto the video.
Yeah.
Because for me to just come on and say, yeah, I'm just, plotting more NFTs.
Here's the plot counter. Yeah.
At least right now I have I've been through a full garden. I have my first payout. So, there's something to go by. And there's some traction with that.
Making money.
Yeah.
Like $1.50, eh?
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Have a good night.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call. Have a good one.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.